This year's Aussie Dairy Farmer of the Year, he's been shaking up the milk industry, not just for his new approach to farming, but because he's taking on the big supermarkets to fight for what's fair.
The dairy industry in Australia is broken beyond repair. It's now driven by huge corporations that operate by greed.
Greg Dennis is a fifth-generation dairy farmer, and he's outspoken when it comes to what he loves.
I guess in a lot of cases it's more than just a job. It's where we grew up. You'll always have tough times, and it's just a matter of how long they last and how often they happen.
In 2000, when the industry was deregulated, milk prices plummeted and losing the family farm became a frightening reality.
Depression for me was triggered by a sense of loss, and I genuinely believed we were going to lose the farm at that time.
There was lots of times when he just physically couldn't work, and that was really hard from like a family point of view too, not knowing what the problem was. We only sort of had 6 to 12 months where it was really, really bad, where you thought this can't go on.
For the farm to survive, Greg realised they had to revolutionise. He committed millions of dollars to improving production, installing a state-of-the-art robotic milking system. But in 2007, a supermarket campaign once again brought the dairy industry to its knees.
When the supermarkets instigated the $1 a litre milk war, that crashed the price to the farmer the following year by about 25%. So that put us in a very precarious situation.
The damage was irreversible. 8% of the nation's dairy farmers left the industry, with a massive 1 in 5 Queensland farmers, some that had worked the land for generations, walking away from their livelihoods. Greg boldly cut ties with the retail giants and went out on his own, selling his scenic rim for real milk straight to the consumer, with all profits going back to the farm. Customers are happy to pay for Greg's milk, which retails for around $2 a litre.
Just beautiful, yeah, rich and gorgeous and delicious and nourishing, so yeah, we love it.
It's pasteurised, so it's still safe, but it's not homogenised. It still gets the cream at the top, and I think it tastes better.
What's interesting about what Greg is doing is that he's expanding his operation across the value chain. So instead of supplying a company milk, he's also looking at owning more of that margin along the way. And I think it's good because it represents some of the innovation that's occurring within the Australian dairy industry.
Farmers and consumers need to be on the same team, but I think we need to cut the multinationals out of the loop. 2/3 of the milk in supermarkets is $1 a litre milk. So consumers are like, well, that's what it's worth. And I can't blame them for thinking that. You've actually been misled by big companies. That is not the value of milk.
Now 4 years down the track and selling in over 200 outlets, including 2 Maccas, Coles and Woolies want Greg's milk on their shelves too. But this farmer's not having a bar of it.
If we don't maintain a strong dairy industry in Australia, your fresh milk in the future will be coming from overseas. It won't be Australian milk.
Now, we did approach Coles and Woolworth for comment. Their written statements and info on where you can buy Greg's for real milk can be found on our website.
Love stories like that.
Yeah, absolutely. The little man has a win.
Absolutely.
That's great.